Hey, what's going on, guys? The Langbanger here. I have a new profile for you, and it's a updated Time Lord Kaiju deck. So, I used this at the last YCS that I went to and a couple of regional events. I liked how the deck was working. I mean, it's just a work in progress, constant, and then it also depends like on how the meta is, because then you can swap out the certain Time Lords that you use. But also, we did get a new ban list, so now we have 3 Kaiju Slumber. So I think that this deck's even more interesting than it was before. So let's just go into it, and I'll kind of explain some things here. So you have 3 Medion, you have 3 Sandion, you have 2 Raffion, you have 2 Zaphion, and then you have 2 Mykion. So, just with you having Time Maiden, you can get to all these pretty frequently. I mean, the Matayan, it's not a board wipe, but, it bounces, so it is wiping it. Sandayan, that's your big 4K beater. Raffion, that's inflict damage. Mykion halves the life points. Like, you don't want to see this more than once, really, because once you get them from 8,000 to 4,000, then I mean, getting it from 4 to 2 is also something too, I suppose, but just the later in the game you really don't want to see it. And then I don't think I missed any ones. No, I didn't. So that's everything I have there. So if the format's gonna have like more spell and trap like decks, then you can up the Zaphion. So, like I said, I mean, you can just switch on and off. So, like, if Thunder Dragons is going to be bigger, you could even use Gabrion. He's not in this current build, but, as I said, it's just very swappable. So, on to the Kaijus. You have 3 Jizukiru. Now, the reason I'm using 3 is because it's a level 10. So you could actually summon a Time Lord, you can Slumber, and then you can bring this out, and then like you can do your attacks and all that, and then main phase 2, you can go into Gustav Max if you wanted to go that way, or you can go Gustav Max and then go into the new Juggernaut Libre. It's a new rank 11, I believe, and then you just overlay it on top of the Gustav. So that's really good. I was also thinking of using Limiter because that's also at 3. So this going up to 6,600, like that's no joke at all. But I don't know. I mean, maybe some more testing. So I mean, the format is new. So you also have 2 Gamma Seal. You have 1 Doggeran. You have 1 Radian. You have 1 Humongous. You have 1 Gondorla, and then you have 1 Thunder King. So I'm using a lot of names here, as you can see. The Gamma Seal, it's the easiest to run over, so that's why I use 2 copies of that. Radiant, I actually wanted to use more copies because this is actually a target for Eradicator, Epidemic Virus, and if you flip this against Striker or like Altergeist or decks that are just back row heavy, I think that's really good, but that's something, I can look into. But overall, you do want to have multiple names. I'm hoping the 3 Jizukiru won't kind of screw you over because, like, you can Slumber, but, like, if they're both the same attack, like, what's that really going to do? So it's always good to just be able to run guys over. And then you have 3 Time Maiden. So that's my monster lineup. Onto the spells. You have 3 Kaiju Slumber. You have 3 Mondo the Bound Creator. So I'll just zoom in here. So Magical Midbreaker Field did go to 1, but actually this card does me a lot of good because Magical Midbreaker Field stops monster effects for main phase 1. This just in general stops targeting on level 10 or higher. So, you can just have this, summon a guy, you're not going to get Widow Anchored, you can go in the battle phase, not have to worry about anything there, so that's a really key card. 2 Celestial Transformation. I always feel like I want to up my Time Lord count every time that, I put this in the deck, but, I think this works pretty well as is. You could go up to 3. I kind of, as I said, you could swap the Time Lord ratios out. You could even add some more if you wanted, but that's up to you. It just allows for very easy, like, rank 10 plays. Just get 2 guys on the board. I mean, you can also do some OTKs, like you have your opponent's life points, then have the guy that deals damage equal to the attack. That'll almost game shot him on itself, and then you can just Gustav Max. So there's a lot of like plays there. And then as I said, you know, with Jizukiru being a 10, that also goes into play too. And then you have one Foolish Burial, Send the Time Maiden, and then 1 Day of Peace. I'm also using some Stall. I did use it in my past profile. 3 Wabiku and 3 Threatening Roar. So really just with this, it's like if your opponent does anything, you're going to have something to like counter it or like clear the board or like do some damage. So like with this, you know, this isn't a stall deck, but like, you know, if you do need an extra turn, now you have, you know, the means to do so, and then next turn you can probably just kill them. So that's my profile, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I don't have an extra deck built. In my past profile, I was using Scapegoat as well. I guess you could add a copy if you wanted, but I just don't have it in here. I may also want to add the new Pod of Extravagance. But that's kind of iffy too, because you know you're banishing the cards randomly and you don't really want to get rid of the stuff that like you're trying to go into. So maybe like I'll just use 3 copies of like, you know, the main cards I want to go into, but like having the Scapegoat and, you know, something like that wouldn't go well either. So thanks again, guys, for watching, and have a good day. Peace.